inflammatory omega 3 fatty acids to anti inflammatory omega 3s. Additionally, offshore open net pens can pollute surrounding waters. So, what should we do? How do we make a smart choice about salmon? Well, choose a wild Alaskan salmon species like Chinook, also known as king or sockeye. Salmon populations in Alaskan waters are healthy with no overfishing or notable contamination risk. Feasting on krill and tiny crustaceans, wild salmon typically have a great omega fat ratio. So consider vacuum sealed packages of frozen fillets. Flash freezing shortly after catching results in little loss of nutrient qualities, says Naninga. So we want to look for the wild Alaskan species like Chinook, also known as king or sockeye. All right, and the so let's move on to canned tuna. Now, this is something that we feed our children when we are preparing their lunch in the morning to take to school. While fresh tuna can be pricey, canned tuna delivers an affordable, non perishable, complete protein, offering enough essential amino acids to ensure healthy tissue growth. Other nutritional highlights include omega 3 fats, particularly in albacore salmon, bone friendly phosphorus. It contains selenium and niacin, a B vitamin that plays a key role in energy production. But buyer beware, most canned white meat is from larger albacore tuna, which ingest more mercury in their diet than wild feed. So a lot of you feel that the more expensive tuna is better, but that albacore tuna, it says, will which can ingest more mercury because they ingest more mercury in their diet than wild feed. Okay, so then the smaller, I'm sorry, then the smaller skipjack tuna, primarily used as light tuna. And this is according to Nanaga. The Environmental Defense Fund recommends that adults limit their intake of canned albacore to 3 servings a month. 3 servings a month. Tuna from foreign waters are often caught using methods that have high levels of bycatch, and dolphin safe does not mean that other marine animals aren't harmed. In addition, cans are typically lined with bisphenol, bisphenol A, BPA, a hormone mimicking compound. High exposure to BPAs has been linked to a variety of health issues. So what do we do about the tuna? We want to, send our children with some tuna fish every now and then to school in their lunch. Okay, so this is the smart choice. Worldwide populations of skipjack tuna are in good shape. Skipjack tuna. So swap some of the canned white tuna in your diet for lower mercury light tuna. Seek out tuna in BPA free pouches. And I've seen that. They don't come in cans, they come in the BPA plastic pouches. So make sure that they're BPA free, and that's by bisphenol, bisphenol, which is BPA stands for. Seek out tuna in BPA free pouches. Also, look for brands packed in water or extra virgin olive oil instead of highly processed vegetable oil. Okay, parents and people that love our canned tuna. Let's move on to tilapia. Love the way that's pronounced, that name, that beautiful name for that fish. Well, widely available and affordable, tilapia provides a hearty dose of selenium. This antioxidant protects against cell damage and may counter some of the negative effects of mercury, says Chris Etherton. But buyer beware. As a low fat protein, tilapia is no omega 3 heavyweight. In fact, the grain based diet of farmed tilapia tends to make its fat profile overly heavy on omega 6s, which most Americans consume too much of already. Looser tilapia farming laws or looser tilapia farming laws in Asia can mean unsavory practices like the use of banned chemicals and allowing untreated fish waste to enter the environment. So what can we do about tilapia? What is the smart choice? Well, look for tilapia farmed in the United States and Canada, Ecuador, or Peru. The closed tank systems in North America have fewer environmental concerns, including fewer impacts on habitats than other types of aquaculture, says Bigelow. Closed tank systems also reduce the need for antibiotics and other chemical treatments often used to raise fish. Okay, so we're going to move on to mussels. Some of you, I'm sorry, we're going to move on to pollock. Pollock, this member of the cod family, supplies 20 grams of high quality protein per 3-ounce serving, as well as B12, selenium, phosphorus, magnesium, and a decent quantity of omega 3s. The mercury risk in wild Alaska pollock is low, and the fish consistently earns high certification scores by the Marine Stewardship Council. Populations of the fast reproducing fish are healthy and are caught using mid-water trawls, resulting in less bycatch risk, explains Naniga. But buyer beware. Representing the largest wild fishery in the country, Alaska pollock is the most popular fish people don't know they're eating. It's often consumed breaded and battered, think fish sticks and fish and chips, or found in imitation crab meat, such as ultra processing techniques can negate the fish's health benefits. Note that Atlantic pollock is not as abundant as Alaska pollock, and it may be caught using techniques like bottom trawling or gill nets, a wall of netting that can entangle turtles and other aquatic species. So, what is the smart choice when it comes to pollock? To keep pollock's nutritional benefits front and center, look for plain, fresh, or frozen fillets of Alaska pollock, also called walleye pollock or white fish, instead of the breaded and fried versions, instead of those fish sticks and fish and chips. Okay, so uncommon treasures, often overlooked. These five seafood choices are worthy of your consideration for their nutrition, safety, and sustainability. So let's move on to mussels. These tiny gems are a low cost source of satiating protein, the antioxidant selenium, metabolism supporting manganese, and must have omega 3s. They also provide a good dose of vitamin 12, which supports a healthy nervous system, safety, and sustainability. Well, most mussels you can buy are farmed, which is a good thing in this case. When suspended in waterways, the shellfish feed by filtering plant, plankton, so they require no supplemental food and may actually improve surrounding water quality, says Bigelow. In addition, mussels respond well to high density farming and typically don't require antibiotics. If you're into mussels, I'm not into mussels. They're kind of sticky and gooey to me. But a lot of you like the mussels. So what do? Shopping and prep. Buy about a pound of mussels per serving. Store them in the refrigerator for up to 2 days in a bowl covered with a damp paper towel. Mussels are sold alive, so never keep them in plastic bags. If necessary, debread, remove seaweed debris just before cooking. To cook, simply place in a pot of steamy liquid. Try broth, white wine, or coconut milk and simmer until they pop open, about 5 to 7 minutes. Discard any that don't open. Discard any that don't open. Okay, let's move on to farmed barramundi. We're running out of time. Also known as giant perch or yellow perch, this meaty, butter flavored, white fleshed fish supplies solid amounts of omega 3s up to 800 milligrams in a 5-ounce serving. Safety and sustainability. Two forward thinking agriculture ventures, one in Massachusetts, the other in Vietnam, have earned farmed barramundi a best choice rating from Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. The United States operation uses non polluting land based tanks, while the Vietnamese operation practices low density farming, reducing the need for antibiotics. Both operations test for mercury, PCBs, and other contaminants. Avoid wild caught barramundi or sea bass from Southeast Asia as its fishery is poorly managed. The best place to find barramundi is in your grocery's freezer section. Look for the brand name Australis. Australis on the package. Try it steamed, broiled, grilled, or pan seared. We only have 3 minutes. Let's quickly. Canned salmon is usually a richer source of omega 3 fats and vitamin D than tuna, especially if you compare sockeye and light tuna. And though the pin bones in fresh salmon can be a choking hazard, they soften during the canning process and add bone strengthening calcium. Most canned salmon in the U.S. market hails from sustainable wild Alaskan fisheries. Look for brands labeled wild, like fresh wild salmon. Canned salmon has a low mercury risk. Shop for pink and sockeye are the species most commonly used for canned salmon. Both are nutritious, but sockeye delivers more omega 3s and vitamin Ds. Flavors and textures vary, so shop around to find a brand you like. Rainbow trout, long prized by recreational anglers, rainbow trout is one of the most affordable sources of good for you fats. A 3-ounce serving of trout also gives you about a quarter of your daily requirements and for phosphorus, an important mineral for cell membranes and healthy bones. Rainbow trout's nutritional payoff comes with little contaminant risk despite the likelihood that it was farmed. Rainbow trout fillets are convenient. Cook them like you would salmon, but consider purchasing whole trout if it is available. And Atlantic mackerel, this rich tasting fish is a nutritional superstar with 1 gram of omega 3s per ounce serving and high levels of protein, B vitamins, vitamin D, and an exclusive nutrient associated with lower cancer risk. So there, we actually got through all of the fish. If you have questions, please email me, partnersinhealth@verizon.net, or goldenvoicesunlimited@gmail.com, goldenvoicesunlimited@gmail.com. So we want you to definitely be aware of the fish you're eating. They both have, most of them have upsides and downsides. So just be careful when you're shopping. And I certainly hope you have, excuse me, enjoyed this show. That you have. I have shared some information that's going to be helpful for you when you are shopping for your fish, or maybe you're out fishing. We have some fishermen out there who love to fish. So until next Saturday, everyone, I'm your host, Gail Dixon McBride. I want everyone to stay healthy and business savvy. If you are in on the East Coast and the weather is beautiful, please go out and get some sunshine. It's not going to be very hot today. Perfect for the morning walk or evening. So again, take care. I'm your host, Gail Dixon McBride. Have a